I do like how they changed this intro.
Mine's not started yet.
Yours hasn't started yet. Mine just did. It's doing the WWE together.
There you go.
I like how steady these drones are that they use for these flyovers now. I guess I don't have to show what the Nassau Coliseum looks like. They just showed what it looks like at night, Stan. I beat you to a question. I'm just curious how fans are to take to this mid-'80s style of production. Oh, look, it's when you used to be able to just change the channels on your TV. I weighed about 50 pounds.
That voice sounds a little bit like Mean Gene.
Yeah. It does sound like it. It's weird because they retried this in like 2006 and that didn't last very long. Hello, Tom. Stan might be the only gentleman. But why are they going through this? There's the Coliseum. There's what it looks like after its renovation.
And
for everybody, here's the card.
Can you turn your mic down a bit? It's really loud.
I can try. So let's go through these real fast. You looking forward to this one, any Stan? It's weird how he's got enough delays on him. It looks like he can barely walk. Oh, what do you think of Jesse's look there?
I haven't got to that yet. It's looking like Gunter.
Now this one coming up.
Oh, yeah, it is.
This is be probably the interesting one because to me this has to change hands because they're gonna want to do Rollins and CM Punk and everything else. So that title has to come off Gunther. some point. Because I don't see him fighting for Cody's belt. Then you have a Who Cares match. Chelsea
I'm
Green,
disappointed.
Neil Chin.
I'm disappointed that Jay Tessitore isn't wearing a blazer, like a canary yellow blazer.
And I've seen him wear it on ESPN. I've seen him in the Blazers. I think one time they did the throwback one with the circle ESPN logo. Hey, I'll let you hear it, Stan. If I get in any fight, Stan, it's a one-man ass-kicking contest. Pat McAfee. Tell me when Pat McAfee stands up on the chair stand. I don't start mine
Pardon?
on, so we're not. I said when it shows Pat McAfee stand up in the chair, tell me because I'll unpause it so we can be.
I had to
at the
refresh
same
my
time.
browser. I got commercials. I had to refresh it. My internet keeps
Okay.
stopping.
Internet's been weird everywhere.
It's probably those UFOs. Okay.
They were right by McAfee's what coming in. Just tell me when he gets and stands up.
No, they've sat down. It's gone to the
Okay.
ring. It's got Drew's music. You see the way they've done the entrance like they used to have it, isn't it? Very tight with the
Yeah.
railing.
They're supposed to squeeze 17,000 into this place. Where they went to the two stores on McIntyre's little logo. Every time I see him, I still think of Sean Connery in Highlander.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or of a really weird movie, Zod. I remember him from that. Yeah, that place is packed and no room hardly for a ring the way they have it. I think the next one we get's at the end of January. I'd hate to stand in the ring for like 2 to 5 minutes after they started your music. What how they have a pyro so high up?
Very good job to create the nostalgic look at all. They got like the electronic visual apron of the ring. Why don't they just have like the material like they used to have with the
Yeah,
Saturday Night Main Event logo? Have the
that's what I
old
got.
look at even the turnbuckle posts have like the LED in it as well. I can hear myself now.
Yeah, me too. Turn
That
your
was because
volume
I
down
was
a little bit,
watching
Jeff.
you on the YouTube.
Oh,
Hello, Stan.
Damn it.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, not bad. I was just saying that I think they've done a really of trying to create the old look from the original show. I mean, the ring they got like the LED sort of screens going around the apron. They should just have like a fringe with the logo on, and the posts of the turnbuckle have got like the video screens in them. Do you know what I mean? It looks just like a regular show.
My understanding on what you're saying, pardon me if I'm misinterpreting it, basically, it's a 2024 show with this logo of a show from 1984.
That's barely shown, but Stan wants it everywhere. He wants it printed on the ring apron.
Well, no, I get what he means.
All the digital.
Sorry. No, he's not wrong. I get it. I get what he means. But, yeah, it feels very... It feels very... This would be a show they would do last year and then just call it Saturday Night Main Event or Main Event on Saturday and then just go, right, believe what you want or whatever. But now they're like, oh, we've got Jesse back. It's like, oh.
This is basically filling in for their missing.
And when Jesse was
December.
talking to John Tessitore, that sort of table they were standing at, that looked too modern. Do you know what I mean? It's like they should be sat at a proper table with the headphones on. I don't know. It just doesn't look.
The one defense on that is probably, Stan, the one thing they would have actually done in 1984. Because they would actually stand at a podium next to the thing.
Or they'd stand in front of the ring. And look at McAfee. He's dressed too modern. He should be dressed like with a big fucking thick quilted tie on.
I'm not cheesy enough.
With a knot like a fist and a canary coloured blazer with the logo on the breast pocket.
I think it's because of our love of that era's like cheesiness, though, is probably what we're probably being a bit too harsh on it. It's like I want you to go full 1985 on this, whereas they're like, we just call it Saturday Night Main Event, and we'll just wear something smart. It's like, no, I want you to dress like Vince McMahon. I want you to wear his power suit from 1984.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd be really impressed if you really want to impress me. Bring out Vince McMahon in his power suit from 1984. Obviously, legalities pending, of course. It's gone to an advert already. Yeah. I've just realised that I'm sorry to fucking motor math. It's been a while. I realised now that by watching it live, you get the television adverts that come with watching it live, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
I'm getting
on my end, that's literally what I'm getting, like when they're showing nothing, because obviously I'm using the international stream. But I dread to think what they're going to put on Netflix.
It would be so weird. That still surprises me. I thought it would definitely be Disney getting it. Did not think of Netflix at all. I
It
mean,
never
you
occurred
even
to me. It was a serious discussion. Keep
but
in mind, Tony. Sorry, go on, mate.
go ahead.
Keep in mind, on my end, as in the international TV rights, it was with Sky TV from like 1991 through to like 2020. So from my end, the rights never changed, ever, realistically. Sky Sports was the only thing. Sky Sports was the only show in town that could actually pay anything like they'd want for it.
And I also wonder if it kind of stayed the same since NBC Universal owns Sky, so maybe that helps them get the international or at least the UK rights.
I don't know if Stan will agree, to be fair, but what disappoints me about them doing Drew and Sammy here is you've promoted this as a big deal, and you're running a match that I've seen on Raw at least twice every 3 months for about a year and a half since Drew turned heel, quite frankly.
Yeah, if they were to show this one, they might as well waited until Royal Rumble.
Excuse me, sorry, I was wrong there. I was mistaken. It's even longer than 18 months because obviously there was a time when Sammy was the heel with the bloodline and Drew was the babyface. So they've actually wrestled each other. Even Stan, I was saying how they've promoted this show as like this is a big deal, etc. And it kind of it is, but then they've gone right. The first match is a match you see at least twice a month on WWE TV for the last 2 years. Drew and Sammy, whichever one's the face and whichever one's the heel, they'll end up wrestling each other. But this has to end with Drew battering him. Has to.
No, I think it has to end with Sammy winning because they said at the beginning that he's never beat Drew. So maybe that's the twist. Yeah, the first time you saw it happen from Saturday Night Main Event, maybe.
I get that. The only reason I think Drew's going to batter him is because I had Drew batter Jimmy yesterday. Sport, in case you don't know, spoiler. He obviously he's re-injured Jimmy Uso, and because he's disappeared for like a month or whatever it was, and he can't, saying that Shinsuke Nakamura disappeared for 8 months.
I saw some of the
bloodline, and then
bloodline.
come back as the greatest wrestler alive. Sorry, Stan. That was rude of me.
I saw some of the bloodline behind the scenes at Survivor Series, and the Usos don't look as big as I thought they would. In height wise, that makes sense.
But I can believe that because they were always considered a smaller tag team.
Whereas Gunter
Like
is
10 years ago.
Gunter's not that much taller than me. He's very lean. I saw him in his like civvies, right? Jeans and like a tight jumper. He doesn't look like, when they say like, if you saw him in the airport, you turn your head, that sort of thing. He hasn't got that.
Yeah.
He looks quite regular when he's in his normal clothes.
I bet he had it in his NXT days, Stan, because he was a unit. I mean, now he's for his health, it's great for him. But for me, I've said it a million times. But same time, for my personal enjoyment of him being a giant Nazi, he's not a giant enough Nazi.
Well, I miss Walter. He had about 40 more pounds of fat on him. Stan's mentioned the Usos, but with Samoan Werewolf, he had to lose 60 pounds before they let him in. I can't imagine what he looked like was.
Jacob Fatu was a fat fucker in MLW wrestling or whatever. Stan, I've not got I need to get 3 months of wrestling opinion from you, sir, over the course of this. Is it 2 hours?
I haven't really been watching a lot, to be honest. I don't really watch the weekly shows anymore. I haven't been watching, and I haven't been watching any of the old shows. I haven't really watched hardly any. be honest.
And that's really unimportant. I know I can ask you anything. You're going to have an opinion on it.
I don't even know what's really happening on.
That's never really stopped you, sir. But no, in all seriousness, might seem like a wild question. Who's winning the Royal Rumbles? I have no idea myself.
To fight who? Who would be the champ? What, Cody Rhodes?
I'm pretty sure WrestleMania is going to be Orton. Sorry?
I think it's Rollins or CM Punk.
It was Rollins and Punk from last year, and then when that didn't happen last year, from the first day after WrestleMania, like let's build for Rollins and Punk again.
Well, Punk, like I told you, and you didn't believe at the time that he was supposed to win it, but he injured himself.
It's not true. That has not changed, sir. That has not changed. Even if he had not got injured in that match, he was not winning that match. However, that match is over.
Looks like laser beams with all the blue lights, blue and red spotlights.
They've got the referee in the shirt and bow tie.
That's a nice touch, to be fair. I did see a clickbait article going, should they have brought back Earl Hebner? My first thought was, well, it depends. How many T-shirts have you got for him to nick and try to sell in the car park?
Yeah.
But, oh, man.
So Jesse's going to be used on this, like, you know, when they have like a pay-per-view and they have like a host, you hardly ever see the host, did you?
Yeah.
Them in the whole show apart from the beginning, and that's it.
2 segments at best. Three if they really like the host. If it's a celebrity.
I like how the ref has like 80s greasy hair going on.
So is Jesse the host?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought he was going to be doing commentary.
I thought he was too.
That I may have read it wrong, but they sold me on the fact that he was going to be on camera, or his voice was going to be on camera for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll just talk in between these or something. They said or gave a warning if you have seizures about these lights moving all over the place. You can sue WWE, Tom, if you have a seizure during this.
There's no warning. That's unique. I noticed they started doing it a lot when Triple H got the fancy entrance.
I just seen with Jap sisters, Tom. And Dakota Kai, we'll see if she changes her clothes over the course of the next few days. That was funny at WrestleMania SmackDown night 1 and night 2. She had the same clothes on.
You see how much they pay for their WrestleMania outfits? I'd fucking wear it on the night before WrestleMania and the night after or whatever. I'd wear it twice.
But imagine somebody like Tiffany Stratton. It's like every week she has a new outfit. This week being the Christmas gift wrap looking thing she had on.
I think WrestleMania is going to end up Solo versus it'd be obviously Roman Reigns is going to wrestle Dwayne, and Randy Orton will wrestle Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
What about John Cena?
He may wrestle Gunther.
Oh.
Because then they could put 17 on him.
I just wish they could
No, surely he has to
Mate.
put someone over on his last match.
Well, he will when he loses it, I imagine.
But
Because I imagine they're dying to get that record away from Ric Flair.
I just wish they'd give it to Orton 3 more times so he would have it. It's funny, Orton was on a great year-long run and they never did anything with him. Perfectly healthy.
What, this year, you mean?
Yeah, since November of last year. Until a supposed injury last month.
Well, I imagine in reality that's a month off.
I almost see him coming out and attacking either Cody or one of the two. He's an attack.
That's 100 could be a triple threat at some point between the three of them.
But on the Raw is Netflix episode of January 6th, we're getting Roman Reigns versus Solo.
Yeah. I believe that is when Dwayne's going to make his appearance known.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's actually behind the heels.
I think basically all the 3 or 4 people they announced that might show up on Netflix or just show up on an episode.
Could be right.
Might have to leave Gary's show early that night to do a watch along. Since it's that'd be another PLE basically, but
I'll be in no rush because it's basically going to be it's on demand. So basically, I'm just going to pause it and keep watching and fast forward the adverts or whatever.
Oh, Rosie.
Hello. Who the hell is Rich Herring?
It was still weird to me, Tom, when you called her Rosemary, I think, last weekend.
That's her name.
It was just weird to hear it because I've just seen Rosie so many times. Tito Santana. You definitely want to know him. You definitely want to know he was a former.
Rich Herring, okay.
What's in your snack bag, Stan?
Ah, look, Jimmy Hart.
Pretzels, beef jerky, and potato chips, Chris.
It's quite a.
I need to go.
The beef jerky kind of surprised me there.
He still looks the same, doesn't he, Jimmy?
Yeah. Jimmy Hart is gonna. He looked the same. He always looked like an old man, a young old man. So in 1980, he looked the same age as he does now.
Yeah.
But because he always looked old.
It's like him and the member of the Four Horsemen both do not age. Arn Anderson has not changed at all yet.
I'll tell you what, I've still got some of. Tony, it's a Saturday night. It's a Saturday night in the wrestling box.
Uh-oh.
What's in the bag?
It's gonna be pork balls.
Kind of right. Prawn on this occasion, sir. Prawn. Although the layout on this is a bit strange because I'm not used to it like this. Do excuse me. Well, no, because I thought I'd be able, because the link is an unlisted link. It's not as simple as like streaming it to my TV.
Yeah.
you can't actually share the link out to a device. It's really weird.
That's weird. That is weird.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they done a nostalgic episode of Raw?
Yeah.
I think it was like something like the 25th anniversary or something like that. But I thought that they'd done a much better job with that, the look of it aesthetically, than they're doing with this.
Are you referring to the one when they bring out the like 1996 Raw entrance? It's the big Raw, the big RAW entrance. I don't know if I'm describing it right.
Yeah.
But
and they had it around the you know, like the ring apron and everything like that, like the old school ring apron. Yeah.
Am I right in thinking they got rid of the? They didn't have the black barriers. They actually had the, what do you call it, like the corrugated iron railings.
Yep.
I may have that. I don't know. But I remember they Jack the Snake returned because he got his snake to shit all over Dean Ambrose.
Sometime between now and WrestleMania time, you may see me storm the ring and shave off that mustache, because that mustache has to go. I just was Dom would disappear for a little while.
Why they got those two security blokes walking down behind her? What's that all about?
Probably because it's such a narrow walkway.
They're all that that everyone wants a bit of them or whatever. I don't know.
Charles looks old in this one.
Do you know, returned to the American wrestling industry on Friday night? Couldn't believe it. Do you know of the controversy of Tessa Blanchard?
Nope.
Where she essentially got blackballed from wrestling in America because of the racism. Alleged. But it's so alleged that everyone was talking about it. She was safe to say she was pushed rather highly in TNA in 2020. They gave her their men's heavyweight championship.
Wow,
that was a good drop kick.
Supposed to be a proper star, and then she big leagued them, and then they fucked her off. But she did it all thinking WWE would be like, oh yeah, we'll have some of this, come in and all that. Oh, yeah,
I was always surprised at the end of Survivor Series when I was mooching about. Charles Robinson was packing the ring down.
So Dad told me that, and I was like, that doesn't make much sense.
You think of all the time that he's put in, you know, he's been there for so long, you think that he wouldn't be doing that, but he was right in there, man, packing the ring down.
That, I guess he was earning his, I think he earns $25,000 for a premium live event.
I imagine, I could totally be wrong here, but 2 schools of thought on it. He's one of those people that he just likes to help out no matter what, even if it's not a job he's supposed to be doing. Could be wrong, maybe. But also it could be that is actually part of his job now because he's not reffing.
But to me, Stan, I don't know if they still do it, but they'll have that whole thing packed off and the truck and trucks
Like
that are on the
like
highway within like an hour.
There was like a proper like ring crew in that, but he was packing the ring down, and another referee was packing the ring down as well. That I noticed.
Maybe they were 2 men short.
Maybe. I have no idea, in all truth.
We're at the first investigation unit here on Missile Dropkick. It's weird seeing these commercials, but I just wonder how much on like the upper tier of Netflix if you'll still get ads during Raw.
Hmm.
I mean, everybody else
100%.
has put ads in.
How else are Netflix going to get their £1 billion back or whatever it is they've handed over?
But it's funny. I'm sure it's probably true with Netflix as well. They probably make more money off their ad tier than they do medium. I guess it's still a medium priced package because I know with like Peacock and all the rest of those Disney Plus and everything, they make more money off the cheaper ad supported than they do.
Because they know most people ain't going to have the higher tier.
Yeah, they make more money off the $5 ad tier than they do the $10 paid tier.
Yeah, no idea. I don't know the statistics of it, but I can fully believe if you turn around to me and said, do you know 10 people get the $5 tier compared to 2 people that actually pay for without ads, I could totally believe it.
One of the, I think it was the HBO guy, it was at like the daytime Emmys or something, but he said that it was their CEO. He broke down how many ad and paid tier things and later on about 15 seconds after he realized he's like, oh, I'm not supposed to say that because they never do a breakdown of that stuff.
What did he actually say that he wasn't supposed to?
Oh, the exact number of paid versus ad supported.
Fair enough. There's no chance that Liv Morgan's losing this belt, right?
I think Io's a win. I think Tom said you think she's going to go to WrestleMania, right?
Sorry, I went a bit quiet.
I said you think she's going to go to WrestleMania still with the belt, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan again.
I'm not sure if they want to do that because every other time they wrestle, Liv knocks out. How's Morgan always injuring her? Ripley's so big and ripped, and little old Morgan keeps hurting her.
They've obviously got the alignment all wrong because the natural order of this should be that Rhea Ripley is the monster heel, and Liv Morgan should try to topple her. They've gone the other way, and it doesn't feel right. Not see a product. Toilet paper. No, I don't know. In all seriousness.
I'm just waiting for our first missile drop kick of the night during this match.
What's the over-under?
It's a be low because
There you go.
You just have Io.
Oh my god, multiple German suplexes.
Did you see the double one that Rodriguez? I think it was Rodriguez did.
No,
and did a stretch at the end of it.
I'm at a part where Io Sky's about to go up to the top rope.
Yeah, you're about 10 seconds ahead of us.
Yeah, so I'll keep my trap shut as soon as I'm ahead. But...
Ow! That would have hurt.
They do the German suplex sequence.
She does it well, Io Sky, to her credit. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Something like this made me want to buy. It's probably planted the idea in you to buy something, though. Maybe not necessarily that one. I don't know.
Alex stands in charge.
She slipped off the rope.
I'm guessing my audio is too loud so you can all hear it.
No.
It's not that
Oh,
bad.
fair enough. Fair enough.
I can hear it, but it's not.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry. I'll fix that.
It's weird. Usually yours doesn't pick up, but it has the last couple of ones.
No, I can tell you why that is. It's because my I imagine my phone is it's pretty much under the microphone, which it's not actually usually. So I usually have the microphone in a different spot, but it's what it is. On the quiz.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No. Shouldn't
There you
spoil
go.
it.
She's got nosebleed. Live retains.
Sorry, for some reason I've lost my Wi-Fi on the TV too.
In the cage fight, why haven't you turned up?
Why has who turned up now?
Because you got to know that they're going to be fighting again.
Oh, who's this? There we go. It's Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yep. Oh, I've got an advert for now. Fortnite. I've never ever played that in my life. Fortnite.
Somebody used to make £350,000 a year at Arsenal. Played it all the time. I think he did more hours of that than he did.
Is that
Training
a
for Arsenal?
certain Turkish German individual?
Yep. Had the Turkish president at his wedding. Yeah. I'm getting a Fortnite ad as well.
Used to out of Jesse, are they?
No.
I actually think he's done a masterstroke to get himself promoted to the level of like. They've made it sound like he's going to be all over this show, and he just turned up at the start, and we haven't seen him since. It's impressive.
He's probably at the airport as we speak, on his way home. That's it.
It's like that's all he had to do.
I've got nothing against Fortnite. It's just not a something I've ever played.
I think I played it for 10 minutes.
That's probably about what I played for it. I downloaded it, and after like 10 minutes, I'm like, why are people playing it?
from my understanding of it, the one thing I haven't got against is like there's actually no like pay to win on it. From what I understand, like anything you want to pay for out of real money is like cosmetic. So like,
Yeah, but there's still kids that run up like thousands of dollars worth of
I
things
can
in their
imagine.
parents'
I can
account.
imagine. If I was the parent and I found out, and then I found out they used it on something to actually just make their character look better, and there was no actual like winning out of that money, I'd be pissed. But it shouldn't have. My stance on it is, money in gaming should just be illegal. It never will be, but it should be. Belgium declared it as gambling, and it is. When you got people like paying money to hopefully get Lionel Messi on FIFA or whatever it is, not good enough.
What gets me on it is like Europe always is like suing these companies and stuff, and it's like, why don't they have a ban on Fortnite and all those purchases you can do?
I wouldn't be against it, but at the same time, just what annoys me more is like they charge money for EA Sports or FIFA or whatever it's called now. Like, you don't actually need to sell the game to make money on it. You're making money off it, off the virtual currency every day. So why have I got to pay £80 for it off the bat?
Yeah, that's why I like the way the other one went. It's like, oh, just pay us $20 and we'll update the lineup for you.
Oh, to be clear, I have not paid for it for FIFA. It's because my brother gets it. I get it for my brother on his birthday. That's the only way I've paid for it. It's not for me. No, Rosie, I get that. It will never actually, like, I'm never going to turn around and go, it should be illegal. And then EA Sports going to go, you know what, Tom, you're right. Why don't I just go to the government around the world and get it made illegal myself? Of course, that's not going to happen. But this is what it should be. But still. Capitalism won't allow for that.
I was tempted to buy it when it was $30 on the pre-Black Friday sales.
What, FIFA?
Yeah.
I'm always a year behind because I have the Xbox X Pass, and they always have the previous one on there. So I just play it like that.
Yeah. Well, it's always like July when it comes out. It comes out. They put it on there like 2 or 3 weeks before the new one comes out.
I got last year's FIFA on
Toronto
is a cool looking. It's not Black Friday. It's in the summer, like what they call it, Amazon Prime Day or whatever it is. So basically, I got FIFA for next to nothing, or whatever it's called now, EA Sports 24, whatever it was. But I'd never pay full price for it for myself.
No.
Madness. What have they got Finn Balor dressed as?
A ninja.
I must say, when I did see that the Judgment Day beat R-Truth and The Miz, I did think of Stan, thinking, Red Star's fucking thrilled. Because he hates R-Truth.
No, I like R-Truth.
I know what you mean. It's the act. The performer's fine.
Yeah.
It's the act. The act is tired.
Yeah, I'd like him to, like, before he finishes his run, to go heel.
Yeah.
Without all the act.
I thought his actual heel. Yeah, sorry. His heel run is incredible. It didn't last long because they had to, like, the politics. Like, the Survivor Series 2011 didn't do well, but we can't blame it for Dwayne being. It was because R-Truth was in the main event. It's like, well, you put him there.
Hang on. If Finn Balor takes that hood off and it turns out it's Kanye West, I'm not going to be happy.
It's special. Yeah. I like buying something off Amazon and then getting like in the corner of the thing like you saved £15 on postage or whatever. I'm like, fucking amazing. I'm a petty individual and I've never denied it. I will buy something I don't really want to avoid paying postage on something I do want.
But it's funny when you sent me Dr. Death. I think with shipping was more than Dr. Death was.
That is true. It actually was. But I don't like telling people that because obviously then it makes it sound like you're unwilling to do it or things like that. But what they got Priest doing?
I like the new music since he's a Slayer fan.
I bet he's a big dude in real life, though. Damian Priest,
Yeah.
I suspect.
I think I used to say he was 6'7".
The thing that always like stood out with the Big Show of how big he was when he would be walking down the aisle, something really innocuous, but then someone who's probably about 6'8" or 6'5" probably is stood up in the crowd and he towers over him.
Yeah, look how
but they're standing,
modern.
like they're not sitting on the chair, and he's taller than them. I was like, yeah, that's pretty impressive. But,
let's look how classic it is with 125 people down there looking at it with their cell phones recording. That drives me nuts. I watch like American football. They really don't show it close enough in European football, but it's just like, do you guys really have to show up and record everything with your phone? You can just go stream it when you get home. Why do you need to record it?
but you'd probably do it, Tony. I had photos from when I went to Monday Night Raw.
I have what I need to do is when I went to it in 2001. I brought it was a regular camera, but for some reason I brought the black and white film. Still have the undeveloped roll somewhere, but that's like when Brock Lesnar did the dark match. And like 4 months later, he's champion, which I was fine with because it looked like he could kill anybody. Biggest man I ever seen at the time.
Oh, Brock Lesnar's the only rookie in wrestling that could be the champion after like 5 months, and you just sit there and go, "Yep, absolutely, it's fine." Rosie, how is click and collect a con? I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know how. I imagine it is, because why would they do it if it didn't benefit the company in some way? But just wondering. And that's a really petty thing, but it's going to be strange when it hits February the 1st and the Royal Rumble's happening. It's not January.
I'm sure Finn Balor is a perfectly fine guy, but I'm so tired of him.
I think he's far past his sell-by date in terms of like, I don't know what the right wording is.
It's like he needs to just stick to training the guys. Maybe make appearances like Natalya and Mia Chen. But it's weird Mia Chen's up for the women's mid-card belt.
So what's that, Stan?
I remember when they were pushing that cruiserweight thing they were doing. Was it 305? Remember?
Yeah, 205 live.
And Finn Balor wasn't in that division. I was like, how can he not be in that division?
Yeah. I think the evolution of wrestling as an entity could be summed up as in, like, can you imagine Rey Mysterio wrestling Hulk Hogan? Like, in just obviously it would be atrocious and it'd make Hogan look terrible, but Hogan would still be booked to win because the eye test would tell you that Hogan should murder him. Whereas the cruiserweights, the difference in the cruiserweights and heavyweights were vast. Whereas now the cruiserweight type wrestlers would be in the heavyweight division in WWE. Like AJ Styles would be in the cruiserweights in WCW. So would Rollins.
Yeah.
It's weird how Butch advertises the cruiserweight thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Pete Dunne. But I really love R-Truth calling him Butch.
Oh, he's right to. Because since they went, "You're Pete Dunne now," he sucked. It's not his own fault they sucked. It's everything, even in the Attitude Era, when everything was over, there were still parts of that 2 hours of Raw where people weren't cheering it. There just was. Like, people misremember it in the way that everything got cheered in the Attitude Era. No, it didn't. I can't tell you what, because I forgot it, but...
Yeah, there are definitely matches where nobody
got silence.
Cheered. It's just total silence.
The difference between that and now, though, is those matches in 1998, which were getting no reaction, only lasted for 2 minutes, and then Russo would send someone out to like interfere or something. Whereas now, Tony, that match is 20 minutes.
Do you want to tell the audience of Rosie, were the former NWA Women's Champions at time?
Well, Camille.
Yep, Camille.
She's wrestling on the other TV channel, isn't she?
Yep.
I think they've took her off telly. Could be wrong. I'm a big fan of Camille. They had her do a match on AEW and it was terrible. I felt bad for her. It was so bad.
It's just weird how they keep bringing NWA back. It's weird how it's tied into. I guess it's not weird because Turner had it forever, but
AEW is not doing very well, is it?
It's really not. I would say, like, if you ask Dave Meltzer, it's doing the best it's ever done, out of any wrestling company you'd ever see in your life.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it is because Tony Khan's probably paying him to say so.
What did Dave Meltzer say? Tony Khan could have run WCW better than Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, he'd do all right until he decided that Hulk Hogan was his mate.
But as we get more and more of these streaming things and people play their video games or computer games and whatnot, they have less free time. So I think that hurts AEW because you're to choose to watch the bigger one, especially once it goes to Netflix. They're supposed to move the pay-per-views to AEW to Max, which will help it, but just being on TNT, people cutting their cable deal, doing the streaming services.
It just turned into a chop fest. Sorry, lads, you've got that to look forward to in about a minute or so. Sorry.
Got long legs, hasn't he, Gunter?
Yeah.
A lot of reach on him.
Why did Damian Priest just hulk up for?
The old Boston Crab.
Damn.
I
Priest
think we've
did
got
not show
McAfee
that
back
he
for another 8 months, haven't we? No.
What's that?
After January,
McAfee's back for about another 8 months, Dan.
Oh,
starting in January.
guy.
As soon as I saw him, I apologise if I had this wrong, but in my head, it was literally Stan's going to be pissed because for some reason I remembered in my head that you do not like McAfee.
Not for this. You know,
I didn't think you liked you for anything.
I just think
I enjoy his enthusiasm, Tony. I enjoy his enthusiasm, but again, I enjoy his enthusiasm in the YouTube clips I'm watching. I've not had to enjoy his enthusiasm for 3 hours non-stop.
But it's crazy to me that your Gunther there. You hold Damian Priest's arm until he jumps at you. Why you just let him go or push him over the back of a rope?
So
I just think the color commentator should be, and they give you a different insight, right? And then obviously, depending on whether they were a baby face or a heel, you get that part of it as well, depending on
I'll go slightly one further. I always think it should be a former heel wrestler.
But
yeah,
thinking of that, but the one that I think of that was a good wrestler, Part Ninja.
It's like, oh my God, he's gonna matter. And Jess would be like, he's just defending himself, man. Stop going overboard. You know what I mean?
Arguably, the reason I say it should be a heel is like you just said, they can get away with saying the most outlandish things that are patently not true, but they can have you believe that they believe it and also know it's not true. And it doesn't matter because they're heel. Whereas if like Rey Mysterio was the commentator, it wouldn't work because he's a universal babyface and he's not going to defend the heel. Yeah. Whereas Jerry the King Lawler and like Jesse, as you quite rightly said, Taz even to an extent had periods as a heel wrestler.
You're forgetting somebody else.
If two people are wrestling, there comes down to the ring. He can say something, and you got the commentator like, "What's he doing?" It's like he's just his friend. He's here to support him and cheer him on. When you think, all right, he's going to get involved.
How dare you insinuate like man? Or whatever. Yeah.
Tom, you forgot.
You are right. It should be a former wrestler, but I really think it needs to be a heel because the main play-by-play needs to be a bang neutral party that really is for the baby faces by the nature of good versus evil.
Yeah,
but I didn't like JBL as an announcer.
But JBL was JBL in 2006 to 2007 was incredible. JBL, when he returned the second time after the heart attack of Jerry Lawler, was terrible. Because he played into it too much. Like, he just wanted the crowd to cheer him so he could stand up and wave them. It's like, no, mate, you're supposed to be top. You're a former top heel. Not former. No, let me put it a better way. You were the former top heel of the second show because Triple H didn't want to be on it. As Paul Heyman once geniusly said, you was only champion for a year because Triple H did not want to work Tuesdays. Genius. Or powerbomb. His legs are so long that they hit the stairs.
Ow! I'm for his hair.
I think Jerry Lawler, for me, is the best color commentator because he's very good at. He asks questions that the audience should be asking to tell more of the background. Like he'll say something like, "But what's he doing tonight, JR? He said he wasn't coming back. What could this mean?" And JR will sort of like give you a bit of
Tell you
background.
his college history, college football history. Sorry.
Yeah,
Ah,
probably.
exactly right. Again, I lean towards Jerry's the best colour commentator when he's with Jim Ross.
Yeah. Yes.
It was not as good with Joey Styles because he also tried to be babyface.
That was a fast match.
And deep down, you know he doesn't like Joey Styles because obviously in real life he hates ECW.
Extremely crappy wrestling.
It's hilarious. I've absolutely no idea if Netflix is going to carry any of the old pay-per-views.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's a lot of,
They're
takes up a lot
supposed
of
to.
space for that.
Apparently, there is a thing like in Australia on their Netflix. Apparently, someone managed to get up a thing that showed December to Dismember. Don't get me wrong. If you was going to watch an old pay-per-view, why would it be that one? Like the lowest selling WWE pay-per-view ever. But
You'd think for the money that they were paying, they'd want everything, right?
yeah.
And it's weird, like on Peacock, I'm sure they do on the network. It shows like the classic pay-per-views or historic, whatever they call them, like the ones that retired. It's like half of these shouldn't be on there because they were one-time events and they sucked.
Mm-hmm. I bet, I could be wrong, I bet there's a lot of wrestling fans that threw away their DVDs that wish they hadn't.
Yeah.
In case it turns out that you can't actually get the old stuff.
Especially like, I know they do this in the UK. I'm sure it's probably true in other parts of Europe, but they always had extra content on the UK version than they
Well,
were.
Go to YouTube.
Go on, Stan.
I was thinking maybe some of it might go to YouTube. Like they're starting to put more content on there.
There's a lot of content. There was a lot of Saturday night main event going on to the Vault, wasn't there? The Vault channel. So yeah, you could be right, Stan. There.
That's right. Yeah.
But you were right, Tony, as well. There was, I remember specifically, I don't know why I remember this. Well, I do because I've seen it, but there was a SummerSlam 99, which I believe we did watch, Dan. There was a version of it where on DVD in Britain where basically you had the main event was a triple threat, but you got to watch the main event with the three of them commentating on it separately. So there was a version where Triple H commentates on the match, and Stone Cold does, and Mick Foley does. Obviously, the Foley one's the most interesting because he knows he's retiring soon, and the real reason it's most interesting for Foley because Foley knows he's winning, or he knows he wins, or whatever.
But I never bought those tapes, Tom, because here in the U.S. it'd be 6 to 9 months after like WrestleMania before the WrestleMania one would come out. It's like it was 6 months ago. I don't really care now.
I never bought at that age. I never bought the WWE DVDs. I only got them after the fact when they started doing what they called the Tag Classic DVDs. So basically, for like £10 or whatever it would have been, you got 2 pay-per-views on each one. So you got like WrestleMania 4 and 3 or whatever it is, or SummerSlam 99 and Fully Loaded 99 or whatever it was. But you got 2 for whatever the price of one DVD was. You'd be silly to not get it.
I remembered when they started doing those with movies, they would have like 4 to 6 movies, and they really wouldn't have anything on common, but they would be on the same DVD.
But these ones, WWE specific, were only available in England. Because I remember specifically they had a silver case. Standing for about the Tag Classics. Sorry, mate?
VHS?
No, on DVD, they started releasing copies of what were the VHS copies, but on DVD. but because they were old content, they'd put 2 of them in one DVD case. So you'd get like SummerSlam 99 and Fully Loaded 99. So you could actually pack a collection quite quickly.
Yeah,
it was only available in England. Yeah.
It wasn't on my radar. When I was like 13 or 14, my mum was seeing this geezer that owned quite a big video shop at the time.
Yeah.
So I used to get a lot of videos, but it wasn't. I wasn't even at that age. I wasn't even aware of American wrestling. I didn't know it existed, so I wouldn't be looking for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you.
I used to get a lot of kung fu films, though. Always been a bad brand.
I really did watch that one you sent me. I was like, tell a lie, Stan. I watched it in bed. I watched it the morning. The morning I opened your text, or for argument's sake, text you DM whatever it is. I went, oh, you know what? I'm actually click on this, and it was one of them where you don't plan on watching it all the way through, but you're like, I want to know what happens after this scene, and it was like, I want to know what happens after this scene, and then it got halfway through. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I like them old ones. I love the voices they use. Oh,
Ventura
so you're thinking of kung fu?
It's one of these like, because you've seen this film a million times before through other films, because they've all got the same plot eventually. Like the film, like where like the villain actually kills the person that trained the hero, kind of thing.
The young kid gets beat up in the first fight. Finds another master style that he combines with another style, and then goes on the hunt for the bloke that killed his family or something.
Gotta interrupt you for a second. Is Ventura wearing one of Jake the Snake's snakes?
Yes.
Oh, Jesse's back.
I like Tessatore's jacket because it's the closest thing to replicating the feel of Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah.
And his little red bow.
Alfred Hayes used to wear that colour, didn't he? The red base pocket handkerchief.
It's weird.
I could be wrong here. I think Chelsea Green's. You know what? I'll predict the winner after seeing the entrances, because one of them's going to have their boo-boo face on. But I believe Chelsea Green's walking to the ring like she knows she's winning.
I mean, she better giving it to Mia Chen, Mia Chen, whatever you want to call her. She had a better outfit on tonight than she did last night. It's a weird outfit last night.
What made me think of New Day? Because obviously Mia Yim's sister, is in real life is dating Big E, and so obviously she's been reacting to the angle on Twitter like it's real. She's just been roasting the shit out of both of them. It's arguably funnier than anything that's actually happened on TV. But I love that angle because I think they're 100% right to kick him out of the group. But I still think they're pricks for kicking him out of the group. That's what makes it so great.
But it was so much better because they did like 2 months of them just arguing about everything.
Yeah.
Then a week before they had like one of the greatest like acting jobs in wrestling in like a decade. Then a week later they fucking like.
Yeah, I was saying before the turn, they cut a promo on each other. The camera follows them after they've lost to the back, and they cut a promo on each other. But it's filmed like a conversation between them. Like obviously, there's no interview or that. It's phenomenal. You sit there, you think he's definitely going to turn on him next week, or one's going to turn on the other, and then they just both went, you know what, fuck you, Big E. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck you, Big E. And then I thought about it again. I was like, no, fuck them. How dare they do this to him? Kind of thing. I was like, it was real to me in that 2 minutes. I don't care.
But it's funny. They're just walking through the bowels of the arena with the camera.
You're right.
following.
It was so well done. Oh, Jessica Carr's wearing the Russ's favourite ref is wearing the old style bow tie.
What's with a chauffeur hat, man? Show us where's the chauffeur's hat.
I would like her if it wasn't for her that
She
fucking
looks
voice
like
she has.
Chelsea Green looks like she dressed like Macho Man Randy Savage or something like that.
It's weird how they gave him the extra
Your chin.
big earpieces tonight.
Michin.
I think it's really the biggest telling thing I think of how successful WWE has got in the last year or two is that they brought in 2 wrestlers from TNA in 2010 and they get no crowd reaction. The Motor City Machine Guns. They are a phenomenal tag team and the WWE audience doesn't give a shit.
Russ did.
Oh, I bet Russ did. They are great.
To me, the best thing about them coming back is the music and seeing the lights and pyros go off as they do their very good intro music.
This time has flew by.
Do you know what? You know what? Anytime I see a male match and it's being refereed by a woman,
Yeah.
You know the reason why? Because I
You
know
know there's no running.
No, I know that there's not going to be a ref bump at all. And obviously, ref bump's supposed to be, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. One, which makes me then realise it's scripted even more. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, takes you out of the reality of wrestling. Yeah.
Exactly. They shouldn't have them in. Because I'm thinking, well, there's not going to be any ref bump. I'm not concentrating on the match prop. You know what I mean? It kind of spoils it. It's not because it's a woman referee.
No.
She ain't going to take a bump and go through the ropes.
If saying you've brought that up, it has got me thinking, do they ever do the female ref bump with other females? Have you seen that? I don't know. I could be wrong and it has happened, but
they did.
I would imagine a female referee has taken bumps from the females. Yeah, I reckon.
I'd actually assume it has, but I can't remember it happening. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I imagine this is if Chelsea Green wins this, I imagine it's going to be because of a ref bump.
And I'd even go as far as to say that when males are refereeing female matches, I would say that a male ref has taken a bump from a female wrestler as well. That's considered acceptable, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think
it's just not considered acceptable. Yeah.
I only think it's acceptable depending on the wrestler. I can 100% buy one of the smaller referees getting squashed by Nia Jax inadvertently, and then him selling it because Nia Jax is a big bird. But generally speaking, Michin should not be knocking a referee out.
No, unless someone's whipped and he's hit the ref. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't like it like Rhea Ripley attacking a male wrestler and they can't do anything back.
That's why I don't like the intergender fighting in WWE. When they were booking for about a month, obviously I never saw them all, but like for a solid month, they were building to matches between Becky Lynch and James Ellsworth. Now, I know, obviously, Becky Lynch is going to squash James Ellsworth in every single one of those matches. My issue with it is, why don't you book him to actually try and beat her up?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't. It was made like he was trying to do like these comedy. It's like, what are you going to try and pin her with a comedy pratfall or something?
Yeah.
But
he doesn't go steaming across the ring towards the like arms flailing, going for, you know what I mean? An attack sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Because I could be entirely wrong. In a real fight, she might beat the absolute shit out of him. But I'm not certain about it with most of them.
China used to do it all the time, right? Have proper matches against men. You know what I mean? Like Road Dogg or Jeff Jarrett or someone. We've actually done it quite a lot of times.
to be fair, Stan, though, a lot of these women wrestlers actually want that to happen. Like, I'm pretty sure they do. Candice LeRae used to actually wrestle men in the Indies.
No, I don't want to see intergender wrestling. I don't want to see that.
How
They
can
used
you
to
do it with
properly.
her?
I don't want to see that.
How do
It's not
they
for
do
me.
it with her when she's like 5 foot tall, Tom?
I don't like watching
My-
females box each other. Like, you know, when that Jake Paul with Tyson, there was that undercard of the two females who
Yeah.
knocked the shit out of each other. I was sat there on the sofa wincing at every punch. I just don't like seeing birds with their like nose spread across their face and like all beat up and that. To me, I just don't like it. It's just ain't about it. It's, you know, I'm not
My
fair play
thing
for them
with
for
it,
doing
though-
it and all of that, but as a viewer, it doesn't do anything for me at all.
I don't think they should do it at all. Like in wrestling, personally, I don't think they should. But I equally don't think they should do it the way they currently do it, as in making the man look what's the word? Impotent.
Or you're lucky you're not
Yeah.
under because I would have slapped you back. That sort of thing, innit? Oh,
Mm.
I go, oh, you know what I mean? If you were a woman, I'd slap you back. They do that sort of thing, don't they? Where they don't do nothing
Mm.
after the woman's just like slapped him or kicked him in the balls or whatever. Yeah.
So
what's
basically,
your
I think
thought?
you just don't do it in general.
Even like in the old days where Shay Martel would be doing slack the wrestler, and then the wrestler would lean over and grab her by the hair, and she'd be like kicking all her legs around, and then come in and do the wrestler and call separation. I don't even do that, right? That for me worked into that.
She used to take a lot of bumps where basically like she would interfere, she would attack Hulk Hogan. This is what made it work. She would physically attack Hulk Hogan, and then Hulk Hogan at some point in 10 minutes' time would batter her. But not like actually like punch her in the face or something like that. It would be like you say, pulling her hair, he'd pick her up and then throw her out the ring onto Macho Man, something like that.
Yeah.
Where, I'm not going to say it's painless, but obviously they're not booking her to like take a share shot to the face like Candice LeRae would have been from Johnny Gargano, who she ended up marrying or whatever.
How does Piper still have a job with WWE?
What do you mean?
He's useless.
She's a great part of this act, sir.
But she can't wrestle.
Sorry, what?
I said she can't wrestle.
Really? I'm surprised you think that.
I think she's terrible at wrestling.
Did they do a match with her versus Nia Jax?
I think they did, but it was a while ago.
That would have been one where
Nia.
the commentators would be like, Gorilla Monsoon would be like, oh my God.
I think we watched that one, Tom, and we commented. At least I think I did. If they reinforced the ring or not.
Yeah. I like when they go like, I have to reinforce the ring for the Royal Rumble. It's like, why? If you have to reinforce the ring for the Royal Rumble, why would you not always just have a reinforced ring just in case?
I like how she just bitch slapped her for hurting her buddy.
The crowd pop for the finish was massive, by the way.
It's weird. I was still surprised you thought it would be Bayley, didn't it?
I thought it would be, but when I saw that Bayley did not win, I thought this person would win.
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna be Mia Chin, and it's weird. Like halfway through that, like she just stopped fighting Mia Chin. Tiffany was like, I'm gonna cash in my briefcase here pretty soon, so I don't care about
Chelsea
this.
Green's
Mid-card
entrance told me who was winning this match, as I said at the start. Very pleased. Pleased for her, personally, because obviously she's not booked very well. If I
like how
recall,
much
like
G-
she basically had a year of getting beaten up by Natty Neidhart. Are we gonna get the gold eagle or whatever you call it?
it's so
For the years,
crazy.
and I forgot what they called it.
Isn't it crazy, Tom? She's been there for 7 years, and this is her first singles title.
7 years. How much of that was in NXT? She's not been on the main
If
roster
I remember rightly,
for 7 years, has
she
she?
joined NXT, then got one match on the main roster, and then broke her arm. So she was out, and they fired her while she was injured. I may have it slightly wrong, but during the pandemic as well. And then obviously they rehired her and all that. But
It's weird during the pandemic. They're like, we're gonna fire half of you.
she got injured twice. In her first match in NXT, she broke her leg, and in the first match in main roster, she broke her arm. That was it. Terrible luck.
But what do you think they mentioned of that? What do you think they had planned for Finn Balor? I mean, he's a Universal Champion.
I have
One
no idea
day,
what they had planned.
I mean, he didn't get to enjoy it for a full 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This has really flown by.
I'm pretty sure there was a time where it was going to be an NXT invasion angle. A bit like the Nexus. I fucking love the Nexus angle. I never talk about it. I've never talked about any of our wrestling shows. It's one of my favourite angles. The way they initially executed it. It's one of my favourite angles because of how much they botched it. So needlessly botched it.
It's almost like they did it on purpose as much as they botched it.
I've never seen a wrestling match actually get sabotaged by one person. For all the shit Hogan gets, not even Hulk Hogan would have pulled this shit.
This show so far, then, I mean, it's not a bad wrestling show, but I don't feel like I've received what I was like promised.
Yeah.
Been delivered a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like
I'm not getting that. We're in all the adverts, right? The adverts are seeing the clickbait because Tony, for example, went to me on Thursday. Tom, have you seen who the said's going to be there? I went, well, yeah, I saw a picture thing where they went. Tito Santana's going to be there. Greg the Hammer Valentine's going to be there. I was like, this is fucking sad. Basically, everyone that was on Saturday night's main event in 1985 that is alive is going to turn up to this, I imagine. And basically, I've got a couple of them out in the crowd. And Chelsea Green winning a belt. That's what we've got, essentially. I personally, though, I think it's fine. As in, it's flown by. It's not... Hour and a half has gone by quite fast, to be fair. I have a chat with the lads as well, so...
I've sold a Rolex watch at market, and then 3 months down the line, I've gone to change the time, and the little thing that you twist has come off of my hand, and I realised that it's a Moody one from fucking. Looks good, time, but then it's like it's not what I'm sold.
Saturday night's Thailand main event.
It's not.
It's kind of like when you go to buy one of those bootleg DVDs, and that's something totally different.
You know, at a commercial break, they could have put, like vignettes and promos from some of the older wrestlers, clips. You know what I mean?
And I mean, like
that.
Before, like an hour before, they had Triple H going out there showing the setup, what the ring and everything looked like. Then it's like you really haven't seen it at
live
all.
host. Yeah, I saw a bit of it. One thing I will give it like when they revived it in 2006, it was more of a revival than this.
I never saw it.
But do you know what it sometimes
they did,
replaced?
Stan,
Tom?
now what they did that was really good. They basically, because apparently on the original Saturday night's main events, they would have promos at the start from the people that could be on the show in the big matches. So that's what they actually did in Revival. They started out with promos with like the people that were in the SmackDown main event of WrestleMania and the Raw main event, and I think Shane was wrestling Shawn. So there would have been promos from Vince and Shane. But basically, they did it at the start. So the Saturday night main event music. And it was like, yeah, this is actually really different because this is not how Monday Night Raw starts in 2006. It's not how SmackDown starts in 2006.
Yeah.
It already feels very different.
Yeah.
This was none of that.
But do you know they would actually put this in Saturday Night Live's time slot? Like when Saturday Night Live, they would take a couple of months off, and this would be on there.
Yeah. Oh, no, I totally get that, Tony, because, like you said, they couldn't make that show all year round, so they needed things for the week, so they weren't doing it. Oh, fucking Coco Beware. Coco Beware's like. So I thought that was Oscar from Men on a Mission for about 10 seconds. And
yeah, Coco was one of them rumored to be there.
Never talk about this. I love how Greg the Hammer Valentine has the name Valentine, despite the fact that he is in no way, in any point in his career, believable as I'm a beefcake wrestler or a heartthrob or anything like that.
The Birdman.
He's a very good wrestler for the time.
Coco Beware is like 3 feet shorter than I imagine him to be.
They did present him like that, though.
Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
Rhythm
and Blues.
Oh, yeah. Look. We finally get him, man. The last fucking event.
He's going to commentate on the main event because these are the only 2 wrestlers he's watched in the lead up to this, so he knows their names.
I'm still trying to figure out. So is that just built into his jacket, the pink? Because he obviously doesn't have a dress shirt on. So it's just like a built-in pink collar.
I thought his performance in WCW was incredible in terms of like how much money you get paid to do the least amount of work before getting fired. It was incredible.
There you go. Yeah. I'll catch it up.
He wore 5 boas.
You're quite behind here.
Yep,
he just pointed at the jacket and said he's wearing Damien.
Greg the Hammer Valentine reminds me of my old English teacher, Mrs. Nash.
Mrs. Nash.
I like how I was right all along time, Tom. It was Damien.
Very good. I like this angle, how they're not booking Kevin Owens to be a moron.
I still feel cheated. We only get him for 1. This storyline's been so stupid. It's like
I like the angle. I like the turn happening in the bus. As much as they can sit there and say, we didn't film it, we let the fans film it. It's like, no, you filmed it in a certain way where basically you could turn around and not have the angle happen in the ring because the audience would have cheered the heel turn.
I like how
he's right.
Like 2. I like how it was like a full 2 hours after the event that actually happened.
I actually think it's really audacious of them to try and have Cody Rhodes be like, I can't believe you did that to me. Knowing full well the obvious rebuttal is, I can't believe you've teamed with the people that we fucking feuded with for 2 years.
Are you to tell Stan what shirt KO was wearing last night?
I was wearing his Stardust shirt. I think they're showing it there, aren't they?
They'll probably get to it.
Yeah. I want to see when fucking Nick Aldis is wrestling. How is he
It's
not
weird.
wrestled?
I don't know. I thought the two of them should have wrestled at one point. They both look like they would be pretty good wrestlers. It's weird how we thought it was such a travesty when they announced he would be doing GM and he wouldn't be doing it on all three shows anymore.
What's the word? He replaced Adam Pearce so fast, it was impressive.
Because we were like, this is the biggest travesty in years. Then, like 6 months later, Tom was like, I love him. I hate Adam Pearce. He changed their mind pretty quick, Tom. And to be fair, it's probably 4 months or 3 months instead of 6.
It was probably 3 weeks after it happened, in all truth. But I do like the thing where they come up now, they come up with little facts about the wrestlers. You know, it reminds me of in WWE 2K, the loading screen, and it comes up with like facts about the wrestlers or something, and like you see them a million times, so it gets boring real quick. But
yeah,
you get one here.
I hate how they say 7-time champion and don't break down what belts he had. You know what the best part of this that they actually got right? You don't have a prime bottle in the middle.
Oh, is there a deal with Prime run out then? Or is that only that's only on pay-per-views though, isn't it? PLEs or whatever it is.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
To
it's
be
nice not
fair
to
to
see
them, I'm sure it happened. Like, I'm sure we discussed this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure Stan agreed. The Prime logo is actually far less intrusive than I assumed it would be when they announced it.
Yeah, to be fair.
Because
you
it's
don't
like
notice it after a bit.
Because it's just outlined in darker blue than ring mat is.
I personally, I think it's fine. I really thought it was going to be a massive, like, Prime bottle shape thing, like all the colours, and in smack bang in the middle of the ring.
Fluorescent yellow in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
But one thing I haven't seen tonight that they did everything modern, Tom, but they don't have the rack of Prime bottles with the fake like 10-liter bottle of Prime that sits on that.
Do you know how they don't throw people into them as much anymore? Like the novelty is worn off. Because like for the first month or so, when they had the Prime bottles at ringside, Kevin Owens or Orton was taking every opportunity they could to like throw someone into those bottles.
I can't remember somebody lifted up a big bottle and attacked the person with it.
I wonder who Russ Morgan is going to claim is in the Prime bottle this year. I think he's got 2 years running, and he's guessing who was in them.
It's weird. We're six weeks away from the Rumble.
Yeah.
Might be technically 7, but
this
it's February 1st, so. Then March 1st is Elimination Chamber. It's weird, Tom, because they're gonna have like 6 weeks because instead of being like in the first week of April, it's like the 17th and 18th that the Royal Rumble will be.
God.
Or I mean WrestleMania. It'll be like on the 17th or 18th of April,
Mhm.
so during that first week. So you're gonna go from Elimination Chamber first day of March until damn near the later half of April. It's weird.
Well, it helps obviously because they're going to spend most of that month abroad because they're doing Raw and all that in England, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
I get the feeling they're doing their international tour before WrestleMania so they can all go home and see their families afterwards, which is obviously the opposite to how it usually works. I don't know.
Are you going to go and watch Craven the Hunter, Mr. Tom? Go to the cinema
I
parlour.
saw it on Friday, sir.
What did you think? I've not seen it yet.
I was not pleased. The film itself, while watching it, it's okay-ish.
Yeah.
But with the context that they're making no more of them, like it's the final movie of the Sony Spider-Man universe,
Yeah.
I then didn't like it as much because I realised that a lot of that plot was setting up a movie that I know isn't coming.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense because
No.
there'd be a lot of like nothing really being explained, as in like one of the characters, something would happen, one of the characters go, "Oh, you're not the only one with secrets." So I was like, "Oh, so I've just got to keep watching this to find out like your voodoo priestess or whatever." But then at the same time, I'm not going to because they're not making that movie. But
Yeah.
Russell Crowe was the best part of it. Because of course he was. He's Russell Crowe.
But the previews of it made it look great.
That's what previews do, Tony. They take the best bits of films and they piece them together and then make you think that's really good. No, there is.
Yeah.
To be fair, there are some good action scenes in it, like one where like he's chasing a helicopter and things like that.
Yeah.
In a vacuum, it's fine, but
it's like
Okay.
super
basically, cut long
America
story
right now.
short, Stan, if you've got nothing to do with an evening, then stream it or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, don't pay for it. Watch it for free. Take money
Yeah.
out of their pocket, basically.
Yeah, right to
It's probably one of those movies that it's gonna be 3 weeks before it's on there. Kind of like the whatever the new Roxanna movie is. It's already free to stream.
It's on Amazon Prime, isn't it, already?
Yeah.
I heard that got put on to cinemas to make up the money they lost because they had to spend over the budget because Dwayne kept turning up late.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Is that because he was training again? It's weird how he would like have the 3 rings set up in the 3 different cities, depending where he'd be filming at during the time, and he would have.
I think what was happening,
two or three wrestlers.
with Vin Diesel. Part of his issue with Vin Diesel was because Vin Diesel would always turn up late to scenes that Dwayne was in. And basically, that was what their rift was initially about. But now, obviously, Dwayne's having these rifts with like Chris Evans and people that are actually like serious actors. The one who played Santa, or what's it? He played the owner of the newspaper in Spider-Man films with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I know him.
Is it Simmons? Is that his name?
J.K. Simmons.
Thank you. Yeah.
I wish Stan would be a background actor in one of Rock's movies because I just have this feeling that Rock is just in constant I'm a cunt mood. So I'm just
Yeah. I do not like him wearing this belt because he never won it. I know that's really pretentious and of me, or precious of me, but why are you wearing Brett's belt? Like Triple H just give it to him for the night, but it's like, hey, Triple H didn't win that belt either.
Let's give it to him for the night. It's a title match, but he's not going to lose it. You know what I mean? He
It's
loses
like
it.
Kevin Owens has gone,
Yeah.
Paul, I've got this really cool idea.
Is Lillian Garcia old enough to be considered a cougar?
I suspect she was a cougar 20 years ago.
It's probably just one of the belts from the merch truck.
Yep.
She was like of like all the hot girls they had at the time. I always liked Garcia the best. I mean, you have all these
Garcia's
women
a solid citizen, always been a solid citizen. However, she did sort of go down in my estimation very slightly for a very silly reason. But when I heard that when she left WWE the first time and then came back and she started, what was it? Justin Roberts, who now works for AEW, said he got moved to SmackDown because Lillian Garcia refused to work on SmackDown. She was like, I will only come back if you let me be the ring announcer on Monday Night Raw.
So we have a referee Russ doesn't like, but let's think of the ring announcer. Do you think she gave WWE a notice? Because it acted like they had no notice, but she said she gave them like a month's notice.
I think they knew as soon as Ricochet left AEW that she was on the way out. I feel it'd be very naive to think that she was going to stay here while we worked at the other company.
No, but I don't think I don't think she gave them a month's notice, Tom.
To be fair, if they've said she did, then I don't know. I do think that their conduct on social media, not that I read all wrestlers' conducts, but you know what I mean, like things get filtered through to you on social to that. I think a lot of their behaviour has proven why WWE generally doesn't let the wrestlers run their own social media.
Yeah.
Because he says some really cringy shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
I saw a bit on SmackDown yesterday when they were doing the Cody in the ring and Kevin Owens was outside. But I missed what it was like Kevin Owens said.
He said that I thought you was better as Stardust, wasn't it, Tony? It was something like that. It was like, Cody, I've got a secret that I've never told you. I thought out of all your whole career, your best actual period in your career was when you were Stardust.
Oh, right.
It was something like that. I've probably got the quote itself wrong,
and
but that's the
something
gist
about
of it, Stan.
And something about Dusty Rhodes, the father of Cody. There was like
sorry, who was his father? Oh my god, it's been 3 months since we did this. Sorry, Tony. Who's his dad?
Dusty.
Seriously? I didn't know this, Stan. That's wild.
Okay.
It's weird, Tom, since Raw went to 2 hours. I don't think that he did one Pizza Hut.
So he's Goldust's brother then.
So Stan's added a new wrinkle into this.
I'm just saying, so that means he's Goldust's brother then. Yeah. They got the same dad.
But Goldust had a tag team partner named Stardust, and he was part of the family. Tony, I need you to add all this up for me, please, sir.
We'll come together.
Yeah, they're brothers, and they're the son of Dusty.
Well, Stardust is the brother of Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Can you do 5 seconds, Tom? That's kind of like saying like you're a motherfucking bitch live on the air. He did not like the fans.
They've given me a split screen, and on the right side of the screen is a commercial, and I've got the volume of the commercial up, and then on the left is a smaller screen with the wrestling still going without any volume.
Yeah, I've got the same thing.
Yeah.
I think my camera or my feed will be slightly front of stands, but you're about to be watching Deal or No Deal Island.
Yep, there we go.
And now
it's weird. Me and Stan are synced up, and you're like 20 seconds in.
No, but no. The one thing I will give that, for as much as I want nothing to do with Deal or No Deal Island, that is still a lot better than bloody seeing nothing, which is what every other advert commercial break has been.
Yep. I like how they actually have ones, Tom, where they just do, this is they're basically saying that it's an advertisement because they have an advertisement person to buy that 30 seconds slot.
Yeah.
It's like coverage will continue. That's what it says.
This is a first for me, though, as I'm sure it might be similar for you. It's actually not. The more I think about it, is that I've never actually watched a wrestling show live on YouTube in this way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I said, you're like 30 seconds, and I guess Stan could use his VPN and say he's in England and be able to watch it on YouTube.
Probably not worth the time.
Don't they put
Sorry,
AEW shows in?
No, they are on. They used to. They used to do AEW Dark, which was like jobber matches. That would be live not live. It'd be recorded, but 2 hours on Monday. It's actually quite an easy watch, to be fair, because there's nothing to it. But some
Tom,
what AEW does baffles me.
How much money do you think we're losing because they have 3 shows that nobody shows up for, and it can't be getting that much advertisement? It's just like it just seems like they're putting so much money into it, not getting anything back, like losing hundreds of millions probably. But who cares when you have his money?
I know they would never do this in the WWE, but wouldn't you occasionally just like a wrestling match to end on a simple move? Just to set up like the reality of wrestling in the fact that, being hit by the Cody car might actually knock someone out. It might.
Yeah.
If he hits it flush enough or whatever. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but like a DDT, for example, could actually really hurt someone if you hit it well enough or whatever.
And that's the end of the match, yeah.
I mean, that's why they ban like all the power drivers and those things, because so many people were fucking up their necks.
Of the way they sold that pile driver on Randy Orton, and realistically, visually, it was a shit pile driver. But obviously, it was perfect in the way that it didn't really hurt Randy Orton. But the way they sold it, perfect.
Randy Orton's head was like 2 foot above the mat, Tom.
So what's that, Stan?
I was going to say, if someone done a running bulldog to me, I think that would probably be the end of the match. I mean, splat face down onto the ring like that.
Yeah,
that's it.
What would your finishing move be, Tony? If you happen to be in the ring?
I don't know. I love DDTs. I used to be great at doing gores or spears, so it'd probably be a spear or like I don't know. I like with simple moves like DDTs. I I like DDTs as much as you like your German stuff.
You got one, Stan, like that you would
I like this. You know what I mean?
okay.
You kick them in the
Yeah.
stomach, and then you just turn around and grab their head, and then just drop to your ass, and then they got to
Funny
do
you
all the
say
work.
that.
Really, they got to do all the work selling it, right? Really.
I went a long time, Stan, thinking to get to a stand on someone, you had to kick him in the balls, not the stomach. I totally misread them. I'd seen the move a million times and never registered. He's not actually kicking them in the
Uh-oh.
balls, but still.
Uh-oh.
I thought you had to do anything to make him double over to be able to do it, but
Russ would be informing us about how good
who is
or
this ref?
poor, but ref
What
took
happened
a
to
bump.
Robinson?
Robinson got knocked out.
Did he take a ref bump?
You didn't see him take the ref bump?
I do love his. Oh my god, I bet Jesse Ventura is going to end up being the ref.
I haven't got to that yet.
Oh, he hasn't got in or anything like that. It's just what I'm speculating.
Yeah, I thought he was a dude was standing around the ref.
I've got Cody going up to the top right with Kevin Owens.
Oh,
I mean, that is a beautiful belt, but
uh-oh. Second ref bump. Second ref bump. All right, are we to get Jesse down? You probably already know.
I'm not spoiling anything for you.
I guess that's why they call you Mr. Tom, Tom. You're not like Gary that's constantly 30 seconds ahead of everybody and we'll tell every second of action knowing that the other 5 or 6 of you are 30 seconds behind him.
No, admittedly, my natural inclination was to start commentating, but at the same time, I'm aware that I'm well in front of you. Sorry, Stan?
I just got the ref bump.
Yeah. Like Stan's what I think the person that's in the front has the responsibility to not start commentating, basically. Other than that,
I like how they
I'll let you all see what happens before we discuss it.
This proved one thing, Tom, that you can do 3.5 hours of wrestling in 2 hours if you take away all the built-up stories. It's like you're still doing 5 matches, but here you've done an hour to 90 minutes.
Yeah,
quicker. It's weird to have 4 championship matches, but it doesn't feel like that at all. It's like you wasted no emotions on it.
The fuck?
Something happened that I don't think I've ever seen happen in 30 years of wrestling.
No, what's going to happen is Ebner going to come in.
Ebner's going to come in and start selling all the merchandise.
Earl Ebner's going to come in, and then Dave Ebner's going to come in as well.
And Kevin Owens had them have plastic surgery to all look like Cody Rhodes or something like that. I went one too far there. Sorry.
I do miss that belt, but
He done like crossroads onto the chair, but Cody Rhodes landed on the chair.
Oh, there's so much about wrestling where when I watch it, I'm like, why is that just an acceptable thing? Like, why say like I get standing armbar, for example, and then I have standing the armbar for 4 minutes, but why does he get stronger? Why does he get strong enough to escape the armbar after 4 minutes of being in the fucking armbar? But in wrestling, that is what happens. The crowd
Did you
gives
see
the
that at the
power.
end? He gave him a crossroads, but Cody Rhodes took up the chair. He span him round, and Cody Rhodes landed with his back on the chair, but somehow Kevin Owens was like out.
Yeah.
They're showing the replay.
Called her the leprechaun lady.
My favourite bit of all that is I've never seen a referee make the pin from outside the ring.
Yeah.
Charles Robinson is outside the ring just going, yep.
They're
I
definitely
don't think I've seen that
selling.
happen outside of the hardcore division.
They're definitely selling Becky's coming back here.
Well, I thought that was okay.
Yeah, they built it like it was a PLE without being one, but it never felt like any drama. Or, I don't feel like I put any emotion into it because I know there's 4 championships and you knew all of them were safe basically.
Right, so obviously Drew McIntyre wins.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan won, retained against Io Sky, and then Rhea Ripley turned up to confront her and do nothing. So why were you there, ma'am? Gunter won the triple threat match, obviously. Finn Balor took the pin, so once again he become Pin Balor.
Pin Balor.
And
how long do you think it's been since he's won a singles match, Tom?
Finn Balor?
I know
40 years.
Yeah.
Right, gents, I've got to
go. Have a good night, Stan. It was good to see you,
Stan,
sir.
for joining. It was nice not to be alone like I was the previous 2 weeks.
Thanks for having me.
Stan and Tom.
All right, lads.
Stan,
have a good week.
have a good night, mate. Mia Yim is wearing a jacket which has Union on it, and obviously this is the same show where with the guy that tried to get the Union going. Perfect.
So,
big deal.
What do you think of this one, Tom?
What, the show? I thought the show was okay.
No, what I just switched to it. Cody versus.
I've already found a site where I can, not site, Facebook page, but I can nick some pictures and basically just have a quick rundown of the show. If you want for Thursday or whatever. But
yeah.
Or I can put them on the Full Nelson contribution page. So I thought I could promote it a bit more for the Rumble or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're happy to be part of that, of course. But yeah, no, this was fun. This was fun. I'm not used to wrestling finishing at 3 a.m. I must say.
But to me, it's still weird. they can fit the same 5 fights. It takes 3.5 to 4 hours for in 2 hours.
How do you
But
mean?
I don't feel like because like all the pay-per-views lately have just been 4 or 5 matches. It's like everything since WrestleMania has been 4 or 5 matches, and this was 5 matches in 2 hours instead of 3.5 to 4 hours if it was a proper PLE.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've called it PLE for like 30 times in a row instead of saying pay-per-view.
Like I get that PLE is technically correct based on the fact that I'm watching it. I've got access to it regardless of basically whether I pay for it specifically, like the network. But
It's still a
it's
pay-per-view.
because it's pay-per-view for a lot longer than it hasn't been. So don't get me wrong. Do I want to go back to paying £50 to watch it? No, I do not.
I don't know if they do this. I don't know if they do this in the UK or Europe, but here in the US, because there's still like rural areas without proper internet.
Yeah,
it's just what they can get up on their mobile. That they actually do still have pay-per-views. You pay with cable.
Yeah. Oh no,
It would be so weird.
No, go on,
I think that it's 49. I think it's $49.99 or something like that. At least the last time I seen it.
Well, because AEW is still on pay-per-view. Because AEW doesn't have a network and all that. But in the UK, to get a pay-per-view event, generally in England would cost £15. It would be something like, I know this will sound really silly, but basically if you got it before the day of the event, it would be £14. So you'd save £1.
Yeah.
But silly things like that. But to be obviously a pay-per-view in England being £15 is a lot cheaper than it would have been in America. Because even at the exchange rate, it's less than $50. But
I don't know if you got to see this, Tom. I added two extra photos here. There's the Nassau Coliseum. It had that look from 1971 when it was built to 2017 when they did renovations on it.
Is that when the New York Islanders played there?
Yeah, and they actually played. Look, Tom, same structure. They just add shit to the outside of it, and here's what it's looked like from 2017 to now.
I remember this because I remember in the summer, earlier in the summer, they did a show at the Nassau Coliseum, and I remember this image specifically and the other one because they were there, and I thought that is quite the upgrade, is it not?
It's kind of weird, Tom. Look, my Apple mouse has the same design.
Actually, Tony, I could tell you what show we were doing that made me find these two pictures. Was basically we were doing the SummerSlam. So we were doing the SummerSlam 2002 watch along, which happened to be in the Nassau Coliseum.
Yeah.
Hence why this all looks familiar to me. But yes.
It's impressive they could do that much of a change of the look of it for 160 million. Originally built for 30 million in I believe it was 71.
No, you're right. It's impressive. do you want to end the show, Tony? Not just so I go to bed, but I'll have a chat after. But
I was trying.
sorry.
I was trying.
What would we usually do? What would we usually do on a Full Nelson or whatever? Match of the night and all that, Tony. I don't know if you do all that stuff. How do you usually end your watch-alongs, Tony? Do you do like match of the night and all that?
We can.
It's up to you. It's your show, mate.
Yeah.
I think your internet is slowing down, sir.
I don't know what's up with the internet, Tom.
No, it's just I was worried that something had gone wrong or whatever, but obviously it's just your internet or Restream. Restream's terrible compared to StreamYard. It's not your fault. It just is.
Well, Tom, what's your match of the night before I freeze for another?
I quite enjoyed Meechin versus Chelsea Green.
Even though you had no thought that Meechin would actually win.
Yes, because I've been wrong on most of the matches in this tournament, so that had no bearing on what might have actually happened.
I was really surprised he beat Tiffany because I thought it would be Green versus.
Stratton's practically a babyface now.
But like I said, she keeps showing up on Raw. Like you see her behind the scenes of Raw. So I think she might be. She might be one of them. It's weird how we got our first one for I guess last night.
I'm actually very pleased with I'm very pleased with the fact that Chelsea Green won because
she deserves it because she does a lot of stuff. She has it so much lately, but it's almost like every episode of SmackDown, she's doing something silly backstage. I mean,
believe
they were always outside Nick Aldis's door.
We've watched the pinnacle of this woman's career tonight. She's never going to win their world championship. So this is probably the biggest moment of. I could be wrong. I hope for her sake, I hope I am wrong. But I get the feeling this was a bone through to her as a reward for obviously her basically putting everyone over for like the last 4 years. It takes a lot of skill to do her job.
But don't you think it's crazy that like because she was like the queen of the ring and stuff, and just they never did anything after that.
What, Chelsea Green won the Queen of the Ring? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that you can tell very early on if that gimmick actually matters when they win it. Like, for example, Gunther won it, but then he's not coming out with a crown, and then he's winning every match. Chelsea Green won it, comes out with a crown or whatever, and then gets beat and beat and beat, and it's like, what did you really win?
Are you? Get out. Ryu, house. Yes, Gary. I let my dogs outside when they need to, instead of whining like Gator does.
I'm sure he treats Gator well.
But it's weird. Like I told you, Tom, they're supposed to get 4 of these a year. And that's kind of their bonus for losing to Netflix. And the next one's in January. So
What, Saturday night main event?
yeah. There are 4 of them a year. It's like for the duration of the SmackDown contract, 7 years or whatever it is.
Their SmackDown's moving to USA Network, right?
Yeah, it's on there. It was supposed to happen January.
Oh, but it's already there now.
Yeah, it went there in like September or October.
Okay, so Fox is finished with WWE.
Yep.
Okay. I assume that Fox did not see it as a success.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like you said, for a while it actually was their top program. It wasn't Raw like they're trying to push Raw. It is their main show so much here for Netflix. It's
They 100% pushed SmackDown for the majority of their TV contract on Fox. They did. It was obvious. Roman Reigns was not on dominating SmackDown for 4 years just because he had nowhere else to go. He would have been on Monday Night Raw had they not been on Fox on SmackDown. He would have.
Did you see my boys, Tom? They still got their opera.
I did see that. I saw Pretty Deadly, and I was like, Tony's going to be thrilled.
I still wish they could have just stayed with Pretty Bastard, because I always thought bastard was one of the cooler cuss words, even though it's really not.
It's absolutely not. I mean, it's great. It's a great name for wrestling heels, to be fair. But
I do have a question, Tom, and this one might throw you for a loop. Okay, for us in the U.S., it's presented that, but by Christian rules, that a bastard is when you're not married, out of wedlock.
Yep.
Okay. My parents were married in August. Got in a fight right around New Year's, or actually it was like New Year's.
You
or
told
Christmas.
me this before. I'm pretty sure of it. Carry on.
But I don't think I've done it live, Tom.
Okay.
But anyway, like I said, married in August, separated in January. So divorced in April, and I was born in September. So since my parents were divorced, and I was technically born out of wedlock, so am I a bastard or not?
Yes. I've called you worse than that, Tony, so I think that's the least of your worries in this situation.
You told me worse than that live on the air in front of our 100 viewers we used to have. Sorry, it will only be like 3 to 5 viewers. Yeah.
You've got 3 to 5 viewers now?
Yeah, that's what I've been.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I thought there was like one person or whatever.
No.
Obviously, it doesn't show me, but fair enough.
No, it's been 3 to 5 most of them.
I'm not judging.
But I think the problem is, Tom, is that nobody retweets my post I make.
Yeah, I know that feeling, Tony, because I used to think it was like getting like blood out of a stone, getting you lot to try and promote the thing we were doing on a weekly basis.
Come on, I did it to start with. That's why I did with Twitter. I got banned after one day of existence. So that has to be one of the best things done during the entire run.
I've told that
full
story
notion.
about you so many times, and it doesn't. No one ever sees it and not laugh. Everyone's like, "Yeah, one day, one day."
I mean, how could you not just laugh at that?
I always finish it with, "To be fair to Tony, even when I've been super pissed off at you and told the story, I'm like, no, to be fair, he got it unbanned. I didn't have to do anything. He got it unbanned, and that was it. I left it at that."
After what did it take, like 3 weeks for him to? It was supposed to be just like 2 or 3 days, but
Whatever it was like, yeah. Do you know on WrestleMania weekend, I nearly triggered a bot because I never told you this, because you know when I was doing the predictions and like I was doing it in like I had a
percentages.
system set up to do it really quickly, so I had to work out like what you's all picked. Basically, I preloaded them into the clip art board on my phone, so I would go, right, that's Tony's one, that's Ben's one, whatever. But because I was doing it so quick, it thought I was a bot. So then I had to go through all of its thing on night 2 of WrestleMania to basically prove to Twitter that I was a real person. But presumably, the thing that
what was your test? What was your test, Tom?
I think it was like the board of photos, and it was like pick out all the ones that are stairs, or it was something like that.
Bicycles
And I
or
had
cars?
to do 2 of them. Yeah, but I was glad that was the test, because if it had gone, "What is your name?" I'd have had to sit there and go, call myself Anthony Turner or whatever, because obviously I'm presuming you did the full Nelson account in your name. I don't know if you did, but I'm presuming you did.
No, it was the Dell Profit that I do, because that's at like Outlook, it's at live.com, then Yahoo's Dell Profit, or 20 at Yahoo. Google's the same. Then I only have one that's Tony Don Turner.
Oh, fair enough, but yeah, so
So everybody, that was the show. Not too bad, not too great, kind of mediocre.
what was your favourite match?
I kind of liked it that Drew just beat the fuck out of Sammy, which he should do.
To be fair, that is it. What is what I said should happen.
Yeah, you got it right. And what was yours again, Mia Chin's? Chelsea deserved
yeah,
it.
but admittedly, that was more the outcome. I was pleased with the outcome. Like on on a lot of wrestling shows, they will determine whether the show is good or not based on if the people they like won the main event.
I liked how they tried to do the old school microphones on the ref, so they went with the early 2000s Bluetooth style mic on them. But I'm kind of like Stan. They didn't make it enough of the 1985 deal, because all the videos were super promoting being 1985, and
I agree with him to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. I think me and you think it was more okay than he does. Uh-oh, Tom. Somebody's coming in to get you.
It's Kane. They They no, but as you said, I feel like I think it would have been a bit of a reach for me to assume that they're basically just going to have loads of curtains and like no lights and stuff. But I do think they had too many. It was too much of a light show. It was too technologically advanced as a tribute to something from 1985. Plus, I got to see Greg the Hammer Valentine one time. They made it sound like they were going to be doing a backstage segment or something.
And like they mentioned like that Jesse like commentated 25 of them and he was coming back. Yeah, for one fucking match. A boring match at the end.
To be fair, that's the match you'd put him on.
I had two questions for you, but only one I can remember at the moment. But anyway, we've had basically three PLEs in a row, at least 30 big event. You had WrestleMania, you had Deadline, then you had Saturday night main event. What order do you have them in?
For me, Deadline was the best one.
Yep.
Survivor Series, then this.
But I think this, because it didn't have like any emotional tie, you didn't have any real big feelings about any of the wrestlers, so it kind of
I enjoyed watching this because I got to have a good chat while watching it. Had I been watching it in my house on my own, I don't think it would have been very good.
It was nice to have Stan back because, I mean, Stan hasn't done much at all the last 3 months now.
Also, he took a break at the same time that I did.
His has just been like the last couple of months.
Fair enough.
Not like 4 to 5 months for you.
Well, I didn't know that was the case.
It seems so much later though than that.
That's not to dig him out, of course. It's more because I've seen him on the stoop and things like that. So it's like, to me, it's not like he's vanished off the face of the earth. Whereas you all made it sound like he had. But because I still heard from Stan over the time period I was not doing wrestling. I'm not saying like me and him were talking every day because that's just factually not true. But I had heard from him. But obviously, still, whatever, if he's happy doing things how he's doing things, and obviously that's the main thing. But can we just end the show so we can have a talk after the show, Tony, before I go to bed? Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching and supporting Tony.
Yep, that's where I was headed, Tom. But like I said, I just had a question to ask you on the rating to them.
Oh, rating of the show? Out of how many, Tony?
Yeah, did it out of 5.
I think it's a 3.1 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last 3 of them pretty much like 3, 3.25, 3.5. I mean, they've all been okay.
This was by no means bad, but I can't conscionably give it like it's not a 4. It's not even a 3.5.
And that's what's bad about it, because it wasn't just like a month's build up of it. It was like for 4 months they were making a big deal about this. I guess because they were like, fuck, Netflix has taken over. We're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But one final question, Tom.
Cool.
Do you have a problem with Raw is Netflix?
Well, no, because it's actually going to be easier for me to watch wrestling. Current wrestling.
And it's more true for you because you get the library and
Mm.
all that. Why we have to wait another year?
Don't get me wrong, Tony. If it turns out that I can't get the older wrestling, then I will
You're
not
gonna
be
be angry.
pleased. Well, because I'll be like, I will feel like I've wasted 10 years not watching as much old wrestling as I should have.
Yeah, like Peacock took like 3 to 4 months to do it. After like 6 to 8 weeks, people were really pissed at it. So like, fuck, we better fix this shit quick. 'Cause the fans are happy with us.
I am cooking up an idea for Christmas.
Uh-oh. Does it involve Derek 1 through Derek 5.5?
Oh, they all involve Derek 2. Derek 2's the best one, isn't he? Let's be honest. I don't usually say in front of all 5.5 of them, but Derek 2's the man. Derek 2's the boss. He clearly is. He is, and you know he is, Tony. You know he is. He's your favourite.
What do you always do at half? I feel like a dog just shredded up some stuffed toy. So that's why you have Derek 5.5.
Derek 5.5
like
is
ripped
literally like half the size of Derek 5. But it's the same penguin.
Aren't all 5 of them the same time?
Nah,
Just
they're all
different,
distinctly
right?
different, to be fair, apart from and we have other than Derek 5 to 5.5, one of them is
Do they
Ryan the dog from Family Guy.
do like it? Do any of them say like the year on the bottom of it?
Yes.
Because like we do that for like we do it for St. Patrick's Day, Easter, like any of the big holidays has the year on the.
The reason I know Derek 2 is Derek 2 is because he's quite obviously newer than Derek 1 by 2 years, I believe. Derek 1 is about 15 to 16 years old, I believe. And Derek 2 is 14 years old.
Well, that's enough for three viewers. They know all about the Derricks now. Good night, everybody. Thanks to Rosie for joining and staying as long as you did. Thanks, Dan, for joining us. And Tom for deciding to join in. He's like, fuck, Stan's on there. I'm going to watch this thing anyway. So I'm going to contact Tony, and Tony isn't going to see it for like 3 minutes until I send a comment. And Tony's like, Tom's here. Come on. And then now Tom's on here wanting to end the show. So we'll do what Tom wants.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yep.
Oh, no, you keep it.